Hi and welcome to Keys Review. My name is Tom Quirk and today I will be giving you a brief overview of the Moog Matriarch semi-modular analog synthesizer. I'll be looking at its features, giving you my views and some short performances throughout. The Moog features 4 oscillators that can be shifted up and down across 4 octaves. There is also an option of fine-tuning oscillators 2, 3 and 4. They are set to a 7 semitone range, but this can be increased up to 24 semitones by changing it in the global settings. There is also the ability to sync oscillators together by hitting the sync buttons below the frequency control. The oscillators have 4 shapes. You have triangle, you have saw, square, and finally a skinnier square. Although I've said that there are 4 oscillators, there are actually 5 oscillators with the modulation section over here. This features a pitch mod, a pitch width mod, linear FM in, and a wave output. So this is giving you so many options to patch other sections using the wave out from each oscillator. I've got to say, these oscillators are something to behold. There is a sense of history in your ears when you use them. Hard to describe, but I would say it's just a massive warmth and depth coming from them. For me, as it's the foundations of where I start with making some patches, it's essential that it is right and the Matriarch does not disappoint. Each oscillator can be volume controlled by the mixer. This mixer is based upon the classic Moog CP3 module and gives you a volume control up until the quarter pass mark, and then past that it drives the oscillator to give you a lovely distorted quality of sound. There are also different access points for the separate oscillators to patch with other areas of the Matriarch. So onto the filters. The Matriarch has 2 filters and work in a stereo path. The cutoff will cut off the frequencies for both filters, and the spacing knob will control the filter of resonance 1. The more you add gives you more awareness of the special stereo filter capabilities. There are 3 different modes. We have a series mode, which is a band pass filter of the high and low pass filters, but this will make it into a mono. Stereo mode and parallel mode. This creates a notch filter, but again, this will be a mono sound. Moving on to the envelopes. There are 2 envelopes, and the one on the left is patched to the filter and the one on the right is patched to the VCA. Both envelopes have attack, sustain, decay and release. Next we have the stereo delay. So the stereo delay, like the filter, are mixed after the signal reaches the VCA. You can determine how much delay you want by the mix knob at the bottom. Delay time is affected by the time knob. You also have spacing, which is similar to the filters in that it allows you to move the left delay in relation to the right delay. You also have a sync button, which allows you to sync to external clock sources or internal sequencer or arpeggiator tempo. You can also use the tap in tempo, which is an option, and you can also use a ping pong button. The stereo delay is analog and sounds really nice. It's easy to function and has endless possibilities when modulating. Over to the right we have the output section, which has controls for the main volume, a switch for amp envelope which controls both VCAs, split mode which lets the filter slider to control VCA1 and the amplitude slider to control VCA2. This is great for developing stereo imaging with the VCAs. Underneath this we have the periphery and multi-trig. So the periphery mode allows you to split the oscillators dependent on what notes are triggered. In mode 1, all 4 oscillators are together on each note. In mode 2, you can play 2 notes together and the oscillators will be grouped in 2 for each note. Finally, the third mode, the oscillators are separated and you can play chords of up to 4 notes. Now the Matriarch comes with a really cool feature which is called a round robin. What this does is to cycle through the oscillators even if you press one note. So finally we have the Arpeggiator and Sequencer. So you have a rate control which changes the speed in which the arpeggios or sequences perform. The switch below has 3 settings: Arpeggiator, Sequencer and Record. Below this you have the option of the notes being played in order, forward and back or random. The Matriarch also features 4 sequences as well as changing the range of your notes to either 1, 2 or 3 octaves. To start the Arpeggiator, you hit the play button, and if you don't want to hold any notes you can hit the hold button which will hold the notes you press. Next we have the tap button for manually setting the delay time. We also have a glide control which allows notes to slide from one note to the other. And finally we have the pitch and mod wheel. The mod wheel is linked to the modulation section and pushing it up and down will give you a varied amount of modulation. Okay, here are my final thoughts. When I first got this, I was a bit worried about the modular synth aspect of it. As predominantly a musician who performs with pre-made samples, I was worried about how difficult it might be to use. I have to say, the semi-modular aspect of this really gets it out the box and playing straight away, so don't worry too much about all the patching. The fact that the modulation, filters, envelopes and delays are already routed to the VCAs makes it easy to get amazing tones quickly. But quick and easy is not what this is about. This keyboard has taken me so long to write about because every time I play I seem to get lost somewhere with the oscillators and creating these beautiful soundscapes from the engines of this Moog. The oscillators are stunning, they are warm, the delay, the envelope, the mixer gives you sounds that you achieve that you would never think could be possible. Currently the Matriarch is around about the £1,900 mark and well worth every penny. You are not just buying a synth, you are buying a synth with plenty of history, and this is definitely present in this Matriarch. Anyway, I hope this review has given you an insight into the product, and please subscribe, hit like, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Keys Review.